What's up guys, I'm today's Mac and today we're going to recap WWDC.
Today's Mac.
So yesterday was Apple's WWDC keynote. This event is still going on, but the main part of it and the most exciting part of it is over. So today I'm going to tell you what happened and what products were released and all of that stuff, what you may or may not want to know. But obviously you do want to know because you're watching this video. So one of the main things what happened was the Mac refresh. We got a MacBook Pro and a refresh and an update to the Mac Pro, the big box thing, which not really many people buy. If you're wondering why I'm looking down quite a lot, it is because I'm reading off my notes, so sorry if that does distract you or annoy you. But I do have quite a long video today, so I had to write it all down. So for the MacBook Pro, it's come with a new Retina display with 5.1 million pixels. That is the best resolution on a notebook ever in this world. There's no better up to date yet. So Apple released this Retina display and it is better than a HD TV, so obviously it will be really nice and crisp. Although you can still get last year's non-Retina display from the Apple Store. It's a lot thinner, it's now 1.8 centimeters thick, but it has lost the optical drive. It's 2.02 kilograms. It's gone to all flash storage to make booting up times, opening applications and copying files faster. It's got a longer lasting 7-hour battery and 30 days standby time. It uses the latest quad-core Intel Core i7 processors and next generation NVIDIA graphics just to make the whole overall process faster and more efficient, and new USB 3.0 ports which are on all the new Mac updates. So the MacBook Pro was one of the main things released at this event and one of the main things talked about. But they also released a MacBook Air, which hasn't changed that much from the last generation, but some of the model new features are Intel Core i5 and i7 processors, which were on the last generation MacBook Airs, but apparently they are faster. Your MacBook Air can now come with up to 8GB of RAM without you customising it yourself. You can now get up to 512GB of flash storage, which is really a lot compared to the last model where you could only get up to 128GB of flash storage. It also comes with USB 3.0 like the MacBook Pro. It says on the website that it's got a high resolution, but unfortunately we didn't get Retina display on this MacBook Air. I think it was because 11-inch is quite hard to make a Retina display so that all the apps can resize down onto it, but I'm not so sure why they didn't make a Retina display. They just didn't. Finally, the last updated Mac was the Mac Pro, which hasn't been updated since 2010 and actually hasn't changed that much. The only things that have changed is up to 12 core processors if you customise it, faster memory and solid state hard drives, and 64GB of RAM is the maximum you can install onto it, which is quite a lot. So that is the Mac updates for WWDC. I'm now going to go on and talk about iOS 6, which is probably my favourite update and the one I will definitely be getting from WWDC. So my favourite new feature for iOS 6 is Siri on all devices. So now you can get it on the iPad and the iPod Touch and the previous iPhones like the 4 and 3GS. Apple's got rid of Google Maps and changed it with their own maps. It now features a satellite map, a bird's eye view map and turn-by-turn navigation. Facebook has been integrated into iOS. You can now add your status from whatever you're on, like websites or photos. There's just that little button underneath tweet which enables you to post it to Facebook. A new app called Passbook, which is a feature where you can use your phone as basically your movie tickets, your credit card, your train tickets and all that. All you have to do is scan it using that app. A new designed mail which now lets you attach photos and videos to the mail that you're sending. New Safari, which has the new iCloud feature, and that will let you see what tabs you've got open in the whole of your whatever Apple product you've got. Like using iCloud, it will tell you the tabs you've got open in your iPhone and your iPad and your Mac. Redesigned stores, which includes iTunes, the App Store and the iBook Store. And the final thing is the release date. It's not coming until October, and I think this is because they will release iOS 6 with the next generation iPhone. I think that could be why they've left it till a bit later in the year. Also to give developers a chance to develop for iOS 6. So that's the only bad thing really about iOS 6, that it's not coming until October, but it is free to upgrade. Next, one of the most expected things at WWDC, and one of the most things that we wanted to see, was the next generation operating system, which is Mountain Lion. We saw a detailed explanation and a few demos of Mountain Lion and how all the features of iOS work on your Mac. So some of the features from iOS 6 are reminders, notes, iMessage, notification center, which all of them will work just the same as the iPad or the iPhone or the iPod Touch. You'll be able to connect up and sync your notes and reminders and all that using iOS 6. Also, like the new iPad, it features dictation down here for the Mac, which is where you say what you want to type and it types it for you. Power Nap, which is a new feature for Macs, and what it is when your Mac's asleep or not working but it's still plugged into a battery source, it will email you new updates of what's happening, like when you get notifications or when you have an update or when you receive an email, stuff like that. Also for Mountain Lion we have Facebook integration, but for some reason this isn't coming until October when the iOS 6 is released, because that is coming with Facebook integration. This is probably because they want to get it all ready, probably because Facebook haven't made it yet for them, and they'll need to get together and settle the designs for that. And it's coming this July for $13.99 at the App Store, which is really cheap considering that OS X Lion was $19.99. Subscribe for a full review of Mountain Lion because I will be buying it as soon as it comes out. So that was the main stuff from WWDC yesterday. There was some other stuff like iCloud updates, but that's not really necessary to talk about because it wasn't that much of a change for Apple. If you have any questions, leave them down below about anything about WWDC, and don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. I'm today's Mac, and I'll see you next time.